Hey guys, Shane Butler with LemonStreetMusic.com. Just want to do a quick video. This is the third video in our right hand rhythm and strumming series. This is going to be on the rhythm sheet, the first rhythm sheet, and this is going to be exercises 16 through 20. We're going to be dealing with bass and strumming. We're actually going to get into chords now, strumming the chords, and alternating between a bass note, which is the lowest note in the chord, and a strum. And also incorporating some slaps, which is kind of a percussive sound that we want to throw in between some of our strumming to kind of add some texture and some flavor and some rhythmic variations to our playing. So number 16, let's just pick two chords. Doesn't really matter which chords. We're going to pick, let's do C major and G major, which would be the 1 and the 5 chord in the key of C major. So C, G. Now when we play that C chord, we don't play the low open E string. That note is technically in the chord because the C major chord is made up of notes C, E, and G. But you generally don't want to play that open E because it muddies the chord up and it doesn't sound good. So we're going to start from the 5th string. That is the C note on the A string, 3rd fret, A sharp, B, C. And so we're going to start by just playing that bass note by itself, and then we strum and strum up, and then bass, strum up. Okay? And so again, we start with that C note of the C chord. We play bass, down, up, bass, down, up, bass, down, up, bass, down, up. Okay? And then we're going to go to the G chord, which the bass note changes from the A string to the low E string. 3rd fret, the G note, E, F sharp, G. And now we're going to play that G chord, and we're going to just do the same strum pattern. Bass, down, up, bass, down, up, bass, down, up, bass, down, up. So you can push pause and practice those two chords. One at a time. Once you get the hang of it, then we're going to try switching and changing back and forth between the two chords. The key to remember here is that you don't have to get the whole chord before you start your strum, because we're only plucking one note, the bass note. So that's the first note you want to grab, is the root note or the bass note in that chord, the lowest note in the chord. Okay? So let's start with the C chord together. Let's go nice and slow. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and bass, down, up, bass, down, up, bass, down, up, bass, to G, bass, down, up, bass, down, up, bass, down, up, bass, back to C. We're doing 2 measures, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, and switch. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 2 more. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, and switch. And 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, switch. 1 more. 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and switch. 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, and on C. All right, good job. That was number 16. We're going to go to number 17 now. So for 17, very similar. We have bass, down, up, and then a bass in the 5th, down, up. So that 5th we can play in a number of different spots. Depending on which chord we're playing, it will change how we're actually playing. But the 5th of the chord is basically 5 notes up from the root of the chord. So a few different ways. Let's just say we're going to play those same 2 chords, C and G. Well, the 5th of C is G. So what we may want to do is switch our fingering for C, keep the first 2 fingers the same, and then put our 3rd finger on the G note of the E string, 3rd fret, and then our pinky plays the C, which is the note that our 3rd finger used to play. Now our pinky plays that. So now we have the 5th in the lowest string, the E, on the E note. So we're going to play down with the root or the bass on the 5th fret, which is the C note, just like we did before. C, down, up, and then we play the 5th in the bass, which is the G note, and down, up. Okay, so it's going to sound like this: C, down, up, G, down, up, C in the bass, down, up, G in the bass. also see that called a C/G or a C over G if it was written, that chord, which just means a C with a G in the bass. And that G, remember, is from in the key of C. C, D, E, F, G is 5 notes up, and that's why it's the 5th. So we're going to play down, root, down, up, 5th, down, up, root, down, up, 5th, down, up. Has a very country, twangy kind of sound. We did it fast, it'd be, well, Johnny, yeah, anyway, that kind of has that sound. But it also has a really cool sound if you do minor chords with it. And you can use it in some pretty modern styles of music, bossa nova, and some other different styles of music will use that alternating root and 5th. So now let's go to the G chord. The root is that G note, that's the lowest note of the chord. The 5th is going to be a G, A, B, C, D. Sorry, G, A, B, C, D would be the 5th, so a D note is the 5th. So we're going to play the open D string for the 5th. So now we're actually going to go up to the 5th, where the last chord we went down to the 5th. So here we've got G, down, up to the open D, down, up. And you can still keep the same G chord because that open D note is in the G chord. So we have G, D, G, D, G, D, G, D. Okay, so now let's put it all together. We've got our C over G, or our C with the G in the bass, to a G chord, and we're going to strum root, down, up, 5th, down, up. 2 times, 2 measures for each chord, then switch. Okay, so let's do it on C. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and root, down, up, 5th, down, up, root, down, up, 5th, then switch. G, D, root, D, C, G, C, G, G, D, G, D. And land on C. Very good. All right, we're going to do one more with the bass. And we're basically just going to do a tied rhythm. So we're going to have bass, down, up, miss, up, down, up. Bass, down, up, miss, up, down, up. Well, we'll do C to G. You don't have to do the C. You don't have to do the C with the G in the bass right now because we're not playing the 5th with this particular exercise. So number 18, bass, down, up, bass, down, up, miss, up, down, up. So let's do it together. 3, 4, and bass, down, up, miss, up, down. Very good. You can go through these on your own, slow it down, and then try again with the video, see if you can keep up with it. Last 2, number 19, here's the slap that I was talking about earlier. So basically a slap is we're going to basically come down with our hand and kind of land on the strings with the side of our pinky and the side of our hand here like a karate chop, right along the strings. Doesn't really matter where on the strings. And at the same time, you're going to use your wrist, come down with your arm, this side of the hand rests against the strings, and you mute them, and then pluck. And you kind of do it at the same time. To start it off with, you can do it as like 3 separate motions, like 1, 2, actually 2 separate motions. So we'll do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you can just kind of do it as one motion. So work on that, try to get that nice full slap. You're really accenting the top 3, or the lower 3 strings, the fattest 3 strings on the guitar, more than the others. But you get a nice slap sound. And so let's just pick the same 2 chords, C and G, and now we're going to play strum. Sorry, wrong chord. Here we go. C major. We have strum, slap, down, up, slap, down, slap, down, up, slap to G. Good. If you don't get that slap right away, just keep working on it. It is a little tricky. It can definitely be a little tricky. It takes some time to really perfect that sound to where you're kind of simultaneously lowering your hand, hitting the strings, and plucking with the wrist at the exact same time to get that nice full slap. But it's a very cool sound. So it almost kind of sounds like a snare drum you're playing along with, or some type of percussive drum, which can add a lot of fullness to your playing. Number 20, we're going to do the same type of slap exercise with some eighth notes added into it. So we're going to play down, up, slap, up. So you come up after the down slap. Okay, so again, down, up, slap, up, down, up, slap, up. Down, up, slap, down, up, slap. Someone told me long ago, there's a calm before the storm, and I know. Anyway, that rhythm goes along with that tune perfectly. So we've got down, up, miss, to G, up, miss, up, down, up, back to C, and G. Alright, and that does it for this third video in the right hand rhythm strumming series. Let me know if you have any questions. You can email me from the website, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.